Hey guys, I've had a lot of people ask me how we're doing with the move out of California, our escape from the caliphate, and all that stuff, the communist caliphate of California. Um, we finally have a date. Our property was under eminent domain. They're going to eminent domain it for this canal, so we couldn't sell it. So we've been stuck here for about a year and a half. And but they finally come up with a date for us, or a rough date, and that is November, December, January, somewhere in there. Um, the, uh, the the timing is probably not the best. It's going to be the election. We've got the COVID thing going on, and it's going to be in the dead of winter. So, we're liable to be trying to move across the country in a boogaloo from the election in the dead of winter and in the middle of a plague. But it is what it is. That's the story of my life. Got to keep it challenging, right? Can't have it easy. As far as where we're moving, we have a number of places still on our radar. We had several homes over the last year and a half in Kentucky that we really liked and would have put in offers on, but every one of them has been sold out from under us because we're still trapped as far as time goes. But now, very soon, we'll be able to actually start buying a place, although the places we really like seem to have dried up. And prices are really going up rapidly, too. Anyway, places on our list are Texas is still on our list. We love Texas and love the people of Texas, but the main killers of Texas are it's damn hot, and I'm here living in hell on earth, in the Central Valley of California. It's like 106 today. I've kind of had enough of hot, but I could live with that because you got a nice ocean there and everything like that. I could have a boat. I could go sailing down to the Caribbean or over to Europe or wherever I want to sail. And a lot of advantages to Texas. Wonderful state. But the real killer for Texas is a 3% property tax. So you buy say a $500,000 place, that's $15,000 a year in property tax. $1 million place, that's $30,000 a year. 3% is higher than a mortgage rate. So it's like we go in there, we pay cash for a place, and it's like we got a mortgage on it and then some. I'm kind of done with that whole thing. So anyway, but in some places in Texas, there may be ways around that. And if the right situation came up in Texas, we'd be very tempted. So we're keeping an eye there. Pacific Northwest is still on our radar. Oregon, Washington, a lot of advantages for us there. There's, gold prospecting. Going backpacking and gold prospecting is as much fun as you'll ever have while torturing yourself. You get the fishing is amazing, salmon runs and stuff like that. You got the ocean out there. You got crabbing. You got scuba diving. You got everything you could want. Plus, again, I could have a nice sailboat. I could sail off to Hawaii, Australia, whatever, when the thing hit me in my retirement, when I felt like it. But there's a lot of downsides to the Pacific Northwest. Mostly, they're becoming like California with its endless pile of laws that only affect people like me, freedom-minded country people who just like to be left alone. They don't seem to bother city people much because, of course, they're the ones making the laws. But still got our eyes open there for the right property. Tennessee's on our list. Liked Tennessee, but the downsides to Tennessee are it's a bit hotter than like Kentucky or something. And as soon as you cross that Cumberland Gap from Kentucky down to Tennessee, you have entered the South. The people talk slow and with a southern drawl, and they drive slow, 50, 55 miles an hour on the freeway, which is the actual speed limit in a lot of places. Crazy. That's one thing about Texas. Man, you can get out and put the hammer down in Texas and travel across that state like nothing. But Tennessee's a beautiful place. They have a good tax situation. There's a lot of pluses going for Tennessee. Missouri's still on our list. Southeastern Missouri, you get into the Ozarks, I guess it is down there. It's very pretty. And Missouri, as far as I can tell, as far as states go, is the one that most understands the Bill of Rights, and in particular the Second Amendment. So that's great. Keep an eye on Missouri. Haven't really spotted the right place, though, and it's not nearly as pretty as Kentucky is, as Appalachia and Kentucky. Got our eyes on the Carolinas. Carolinas are beautiful places. I'm not sure as far as North and South Carolina. which is a more free place. I know they're both better than California, but there again, you've got the ocean. I could have a nice sailboat. I could sail down to the Caribbean, or I could sail up and across over to the old world and explore Europe, and all kinds of possibilities there in the Carolinas. So keeping our eye out there, but we haven't really spotted the right place. I don't know. And that's about where all that stands. So getting out of here at the end of the year in the middle of like the worst time. I'd like to touch a little bit on the COVID thing. COVID is not a political issue. It's not left versus right. And I totally understand, I totally understand the people who were against the lockdown and the people who now won't be forced to wear a mask, although that's getting ridiculous, because if you told them they had or they couldn't wear a mask, then they'd go out and insist on wearing one. They're just being contrary. It's not a big deal. Put on a freaking mask. But whatever. I understand you're not wanting to be forced into it. But please, you could be spreading germs. This is not the common cold. Just put on a mask, please. If you don't want to, I understand. Just whatever. I'll be wearing my good N95, so it won't matter. But it is exploding, though. It really is. Summer has not done us much in the way of favors. As we lifted the lockdown, as we had to, had no choice. You can't stay locked down forever. It's exploding in Florida. It's like, and the left is trying to pretend it's only exploding in Republican-run states, but that's not the case at all, because out here in California, where we literally do the opposite of what Trump tells us all the time, it is exploding here too. The counties nearest me, Tulare, Kings, Fresno, the number of infections per day has like doubled or tripled or more in some days. We were having like 20, 30 a day in each county. Now we're up to 100, 150 some days. Death rate hasn't spiked up yet, but it will. Although the death rate has come down to around 2% because nursing homes are totally isolated places now, So the really, really old and frail are not getting it as often. But, I'm in my 60s. I'm definitely in the target zone. And this messes with people randomly. I've known old people who skated through it like they just had a cold. And I've known young, strong people who just absolutely got their butts kicked from it, spent weeks in the hospital, have scarring on their lungs. This gets in your heart and can cause heart damage and scarring. This stuff can mess you up. You can cruise through it, or it can mess you up. It also gets in your testicles. There's some part of your testicles that become very inflamed and infected sometimes with the COVID. And I don't know what the long-term effects of that are and everything. But I just don't want anything messing with my testicles. Well, I don't mean that exactly, but not COVID. You know what I mean? Anyway, so do be careful out there, guys. Try your best. We're stuck with it for the duration, it looks like. We got to get on with life, but we can try and keep a lid on it. Good luck. You guys have awesome time.